The morning of the 6th day was quite depressing. The reason for this was the rain, which had been pouring almost non-stop for 2 days. In addition, the cool autumn weather had crept in unnoticed, and the temperature with chill factor was approaching -degrees. As a result, I caught a cold. My well-being, and with it my enthusiasm, plummeted. Yesterday it rained all day, and the humidity was so high that despite the high-quality equipment, rain jacket, rain pants and Gore-Tex boots, my body still got wet and cooled down to a rather dangerous level. Fortunately, I managed to survive the cold and damp night thanks to my wonderful Hilleberg tent, warm marmot sleeping bag, Montpel down jacket and down pants. And I also must admit that the temperature inside the tent is indeed significantly warmer than outside. The soup I made in the evening to warm myself up also helped. Sleeping again was not very good, because there was a risk of being trampled by cattle. From time to time during the night I was woken up by the cattle mooing noises. Sometimes it seemed that they were approaching my tent. My tent is perfectly well camouflaged in the surrounding environment, and it was difficult to notice it even in the evening, so during the night it totally disappeared from my sight. But in the Pyrenees are full of cattle herds. The cattle walk through the forests and fields, and most of these animals have poor vision at night. So a big cow that weighs about a ton could have, without realizing it, easily trampled my tent with me inside it. The terrible night made me look at yesterday's decision to continue despite the ongoing rains in a different light. I had to conclude that the cold autumn rain is not the same as the nice cooling rain in the summertime. And if there is a chance to spend the night somewhere warm and sheltered, then in autumn and winter you should definitely choose such an option. I had brought a solar panel with me to charge my power bank and phone, but during the rain it is of no use. As a result, my electricity reserves were also depleted. I had to continue the trail to the nearest hotel or hostel. Navigating the trail in bad weather is difficult, and in order to save weight, I had chosen not to bring maps and a book about the trail. Anyway, I continued the trail. I had to get to a village called Hiriberi as soon as possible. There was hope that there would be a shop or cafe, or maybe it would even be possible to find some accommodation there. Distance from Hiriberi to the hotel in Ochagavia was about 4 to 5 hours. The weather forecast promised rain, and the clouds slowly began to gather. Although I hadn't managed to book a hotel due to poor internet, I was hoping to do it on the way. Of course, there are no bears here, right? At some point, I caught myself thinking that it was a new morning, and I kept smiling. In this situation, some everyday problems were completely forgotten. The only thought was where to get clean water, and not even clean because, for example, yesterday I was filtering water from a muddy stream because all the streams had turned into muddy rivers due to the rain. Where to get food, where to find shelter and accommodation, these are the thoughts that dominate during the trek. All the other problems that people face in everyday life suddenly become unimportant. On the way to Hiriberi, there was a small settlement called Orbara, but it was an absolute ghost village, without people. Fortunately, I managed to fill up the water bottles there. Soon I reached Hiriberi, Although there were a few people in this village, there were no shops or cafes. There were no accommodation either. Only those where you have to call and make a reservation in Spanish, which unfortunately I don't understand. The Berendi rock massif near the village of Hiriberi was impressive. The water reservoir, full of baby frogs, showed that the water was not only suitable for drinking, but also for living in. The rain started again with renewed vigor, and I realized that I wouldn't survive another night in the cold rain with wet clothes on me. Moreover, the temperature promised to be even lower according to the weather forecast. So I concentrated all my strength again to continue the journey. At times, the rain stopped, and a beautiful landscape opened up. On the side of the road, I noticed a large flock of some eagle-like birds. Later I learned that they were Eurasian vultures. The wingspan of a vulture can reach 2.8 meters. The distant village on the horizon was Ochagavia. The application showed 2 hours and 20 minutes to go. The rain had also stopped, and I was walking downhill. On the way down, I managed to book the last available hotel room in Ochagavia for 150 euros. There was simply no other option. There was another hotel about 20 kilometers away for 100 euros, but physically I felt that I wouldn't be able to go that far. I was starting to lose strength.